Last night, my being had a very clear premonition from start to where it ended. And the system always likes to project sexual, lustful premonitions into your mind space when you're in sleep mode. But within this dream, my being was leading towards the lust. And when my being caught the system trying to cause my being to lust, my being said no. My being stood very grounded on my no. And then instead of being what the system wanted me to be, my being decided to be me, which is to counsel that being. Make that being understand what was happening in their lives and the lives of those that they had somewhat affected negatively. My being was in line for that treatment, but my being said no. So if the system cannot get you in the physical reality, which is simulation, it will get you in another reality, which is another application. Premonitions, dreams, they're applications. It's where they can download experiences in your mind space, and again, you can either accept it or control it. You control your premonitions, just like my being did. My being said no. My being was aware of what was happening, and my being said no. Now my being is becoming more and more and more and more clearer as my being evolves in nature and grows in nature and eats less physical food and partakes of all the nourishment in nature every day of my life. Drinking water every day of my life now. So my operating system, just like a car, it needs certain components in order for you to function clearly and be that Neo, be that one that overthrows and overpowers and overtakes the system, trying to cause you to be what it wants you to be, which is a slave to the system. So my being said no, and my being went into my position and started to counsel that being. Of late, my being has been whooping the system's ass. My being has been taking control. My being has been speaking a lot more. Because this is my role in this simulation, to speak complete truth. But before my being could actually do that really consistently, my being had to be living completely in truth and righteousness. Not just one of those ones out there that are spreading truth. Well, truth from the 3D, which is not truth. They're clues. There's a difference between a clue that leads you to truth and truth. 3D, the system has to give us clues. They have to. Because the clues will lead you, if you follow the clues, follow the white rabbit, it will lead you to truth. But you think the clues are truth, and that's what you're spreading. You're spreading the clues, not the truth. Neo was looking for clues. And in him looking for clues, now there's a difference. Are you looking for clues? Or are you just spreading clues? There's a big difference. Neo was searching for truth. And in him searching for truth, complete truth, he followed the white rabbit. He followed the clues. And the clues, the rabbit led him, and the white represents the light, not the false light, the true light. The white rabbit led him to Trinity, then to Morpheus. He was given many clues that led him to truth. But the truth was not in Morpheus or Trinity or in that experience. It was inside of Neo. Neo went inside. That training, it happened inside. Those thoughts, those questions, it happened inside. Those choices, it happened from inside. Neo went in. And it was inside he found his complete truth. He found his purpose. He found his power. He reclaimed back his attention. He ended all contracts. He said no to the system. So my being has been spreading truth about the system. My being is speaking more about the system and how it operates in your life. And the system has just shut my being down 3 times in a row within 24 hours. Because my being has been quiet in certain groups. Quiet in a sense where my beings are sharing memes. But since my being has been evolving and growing more, my being has not been quiet of late, because my being wasn't born to be quiet. My being wasn't born to be in the background. My being was born to be a speaker of truth, a messenger of truth and righteousness. The system does not want Nama to expose it for what it truly is, because my being has experienced the system first hand, telepathically, for myself. Now, what my being wants to say, really, about all these Telegram groups, all these WhatsApp groups, all these groups, and there are so many groups, they somewhat seem to be for truth, but they're not for truth. They're for spreading clues. They're for spreading the system's scripts. That's what they're for. That's what they're living for. They're living for spreading the system's scripts. They're messengers for the system. They're not messengers for truth. There's a big difference. So you're going to meet many beings that are speaking clues that sound like truth, but they're not truth. They are clues. And these beings that are spreading what they think is truth, which are clues, are clueless. They are clueless that they are only spreading clues. My being is clued up. My being knows that we are in assimilation. Whatever Tom Campbell has experienced, whatever Telsa experienced, whatever Rudolf Steiner experienced, whatever Carl Jung experienced, all these beings that are leaving clues, Philip Dick, all these beings that are leaving clues for us to work it out, that we are in a bloody simulation. We are being remotely controlled. Let me just rephrase that. You are being remote controlled. You are spreading clues. You are causing problems in the simulation because you're taking sides. You're reacting rather than responding You're taking sides. You're getting involved in a civil war that's about to start right now. That's what they want you to do. They want your attention. They need your attention. They need you to side and agree with them. So you, the one that believes what their scripts are saying, you're going to carry it out, because they're not creators. They cannot make things happen. They need us to make things happen. They rely on our energy, our creative power and force to manifest these things into the reality. They cannot do it by themselves. We are the manifestors. We are the batteries. We are the creators in this simulation, not them. They're parasites. They need us. They feed on us. So they can silence my being in the system. They can silence my being in their system, their bots, their groups, their channels, because it's theirs. They're controlling it. It's their territory. They don't want Nama stepping on it because Nama's dangerous. Nama's a threat to their lies, their deception, their darkness, and their operation. Nama loves you. Namaste. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe.